All right, we have Lena on, who's been waiting for us to get back here because she called us and emailed us and said 2 years ago, one of her bridesmaids just bailed on her like a month before the wedding. It was 2 years ago. I mean, she's over the hurt, but she still wants to know, like, what the heck happened to her? We know she's alive.
Yeah, because she saw her on Instagram. She was still active on Instagram after she bounced, but she can never get a hold of her and never talk to her.
So, Lena, we reached out to Sarah with the 5 questions that you provided. Before I tell you how she responded, though, did she just go away? Like, I'm really curious on was there a last conversation between the two of you guys, or she just left and it was open-ended?
Yeah, it was pretty open-ended. It wasn't like she and I had a conversation that didn't go well or something. You know, for all I knew, everything was fine. I think we did like a bridesmaid like brunch, and then that was the last time I saw her.
So there was no like official breakup, like, hey, I know this is last minute and I'm really sorry, but I can't be a bridesmaid. And then it was over, or there was never even that text?
Yeah. It was completely ghost, like no explanation, nothing.
I can't come up with anything. But we don't need to rack our brains because we got answers. All right, so our studio director, Tommy, reached out to her and told her exactly what was going on and why we were hitting her up. And she answered your questions. We sent her 5. Here we go. Your first question was, did I do something that made you angry? Maybe something like acting like a total bridezilla. Okay, so there's a little sand here, a little grain here where you kind of think you might have been difficult, right?
I mean, yeah, I was a little stressed, but I don't think I did anything to warrant her ghosting me, though.
I mean, that's extreme behavior.
I'm open to accepting that I was. You know, if she says that I was, I'll accept that. But
okay, well, she didn't. When you were asking if you're a bridezilla, she's bridezilla. She said, "Nope, not at all. You aren't even the slightest bit of a bridezilla." That made it really hard to walk away from the entire situation, but I really thought it was best for me and everyone.
The entire situation. She didn't say wedding. She said situation. So something was going on.
Are your bridesmaids nightmare? Be honest. Like,
or any of them, like, real tough?
I mean, they're all my friends since I was younger, and I don't have any problems with any of them, but I don't know. I'm just more confused now.
Okay. Were all of those bridesmaids from when you were younger, she was the only like outside
she
one?
was the only
that's
kind of outsider. She was from college and no one else was. So she didn't have anyone that she was close to.
That might be part of it.
And they let her know.
Maybe. Question 2, if not, can you tell me what happened? And then her answer, I'd really rather not discuss too much about what happened. As much as I love Lena, I don't think much good can come from being 100% honest with her. Let's just say that ended up in a very uncomfortable situation more than once leading up to the wedding. I needed to separate myself from the entire thing so to avoid being there again.
Lena, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you and your husband have any issues with infidelity prior to getting married?
No, I mean, I don't think there was any issues.
Not that you know of.
We're good now.
What? Because her friend cheated with the groom.
Feels like that could be the only thing.
What did I? What? Why are you giving me a microphone? You don't want me to talk.
Or this is all like conjecture at this point. Or maybe he was being inappropriate and she wasn't comfortable with it, so she just bounced.
All right. Again, she says, I needed to separate myself from the entire thing so to avoid being there again. However, telling Lena wasn't an option, but I also didn't feel comfortable lying. So question 2 was, did you regret ghosting on my wedding, or would you do it all over again if you were in the same position? And she says, I'd do it all over again if I was in the same position. I can't have regrets when I feel like I had no choice. It was the right thing to do. You have no idea what she is talking about.
No, not really. And now it's kind of making me have like my stomach hurt. I don't know what it could be. Like, even more confused.
I mean, she's being very evasive, to say the least.
Yeah.
And to say, like, this information would not help you now, like, if it was a bridesmaid issue, I'd be like, those bitches are bitches. You know, like, but if it has to do with the groom, I'm like, that information won't help you now. You're happily married.
That makes some sense.
Yeah.
All right. Your next question was, do you miss our friendship? And she said, not even a little bit. I'm just kidding. She didn't say that.
Whoa, God, Bert!
Not even remotely close to what she wrote.
Why would you do that?
I have a mic.
Why you want me to talk?
She says, of course I do. However, I did what I felt I had to do. So she was really in some kind of like moral dilemma here, and she still feels like she is because she still doesn't even want to talk about it. So, you know, what these guys are saying about maybe it was your husband or another family member or something.
I mean, we automatically assume groom because I think that's the easiest one to point a finger at, but it could have been the father of the bride. It could have been one of the husbands of the bridesmaids. If your bridesmaids were married at the time or a boyfriend of a bridesmaid, like it could be anything. We're just, having done this show for 10 years, we like to hone in on the groom.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that the groom is the transgressor here. Like, she might have got a little drunk, gave him a smooch, and then was like, I got to remove myself from this equation because I'm a bad person. So we don't need to throw it at him necessarily. It could be anything.
So your last question here was, would you be willing to meet for drinks, catch up, maybe clear things up? And she writes back, would love drinks and to catch up. But this here is very telling. I'm not sure that I'll be able to clear anything up with her without causing problems that I don't think she wants.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow. I
She's the
don't
queen
even
of
know what to
vagueness.
think now.
Comes down to how bad you want those answers.
Yeah, it really does. Like, you don't know what Pandora's box she has. And if things are going really well in your life right now, everything's great. I don't know that I'd reach to the past on this one. But if you are a person, one of these crazy people that needs to know the truth all the time, then maybe you want to reach out to her.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm even more curious and have, the desire to know even more. Like, I'm just like thinking of any possible situation in my mind. Like, nothing's coming up. So
Everybody on the show, would you
know.
want to know? Would you open that box or would you just keep it closed and be like, you know what? It was, we've gone 2 years without seeing each other. So
I would.
have a nice life.
You would?
I don't know how I could keep it closed at this point. At what she's saying, like,
It's amazing what you can do if you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
Well, I think, honestly, the first thing I would probably do rather than reach back out and have drinks with her is I'd probably go to my now husband, or in my case would be my wife, and say, I'll tell you what, the strangest thing is going on. Like, I'm going to go have drinks with Sarah, and she's being so cryptic about why she bailed from the wedding. And then maybe when you introduce that to your husband, if he was involved in any of this, then he would come clean, maybe.
I'm curious, though, when Sarah originally bailed, like, did your husband have any opinion when you're like, one of my bridesmaids dropped out? Was he just like, was it Sarah? Or did he encourage you to reach out and get answers? Or was he like, let that friend go, she sucks? Like, did he have any reaction to Sarah prior?
At first, like, when I told him, he's like, oh, is she okay? Like, did something happen? Like, yeah, try to get in contact with her. But then, he saw that she wasn't answering, and I was, like, really upset. So then he was like, yeah, let her go. Like, she's clearly not a good friend to you.
All right, here's listener Robert that wants to tell you to bail. Hey, Robert, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Bert Show. I would just say that she still likes you, which is a good thing. And they've made lots of movies about Pandora's box. I would just let it go. Honestly, I'd just let it go.
Would you, Robert, be able to do that, though? I mean, you've got all this messaging going on. Now it's a mystery in her own life. Would you really be able to close that door and say, you know what? I just don't need to know.
I didn't buy a ticket to the movie, so I've opened that box a couple of times. I would tell you, let it go.
I would want to, but I would have to know.
Would you?
Yeah, I would have to know.
I think I would just bring it up and see if they end up telling. My significant other says something, but damn, I wish we wouldn't have done this.
Too late now.
Right. Lena, be in touch with us, right? And let us know which way you're going because I am certainly invested.
Yeah, I think I want to meet up with her and get some answers. I know you guys all think I'm crazy.
Well,
but
just set your expectations
all.
because it doesn't look like she's going to give you any.
Yeah, I mean, unless you press
Few
her.
drinks, though.
And you got to be careful what you ask for because if you press her for honesty and she gives it to you, you can't be mad at her.
You were college friends. What
Yeah.
did she used to get real hammered on?
Ooh. Sounds like a
Tequila.
Goldschlager girl.
Tequila.
All
Does
right.
it every time.
Make it happen.
All right, Lena, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
The Bert Show.